Rainey.
And I'm Chad Laircy.
And this is another episode of the Mountain Life Show.
And today we're at one of my absolute favorite restaurants.
At the Sawmill Kitchen and Market in Blairsville, Georgia, with owners Shawn, Amy, and their youngest daughter, Amy Kight. So can you guys tell us a little bit about what makes your restaurant such an area destination? Folks keep coming back over and over again.
It probably starts first and foremost with just the people that work here, that have been here for a while, and you combine that with whole locally sourced ingredients in a good atmosphere like we have here, and I just think it's a warm, cozy place to come eat.
Absolutely. And what are the meals that you serve here?
Okay, so we serve breakfast and lunch, and Monday through Friday it's breakfast from 6:30 to 11, and a lunch 11 to 2. And on Saturdays we just do breakfast because that's about all we have time for, and then Sundays we are closed.
Can I go back to that first question?
Sure.
You talked about what makes folks come back. Doesn't it have something to do with the food?
Yeah. I think.
I mean, it has a little bit to do with that.
It is outstanding, Shawn.
I think. What we like to call it here is just nostalgically Southern food. So it's food that you recognize from either going to your grandma's or growing up at home. We just locally source. Fresh farm ingredients. We don't try to do anything over the top or over fancy with that. Just keep it recognizable. Just focus on the taste and serve it with a warm smile, and it just seems to work.
Well, on that note, I mean, just had lunch here today, as a matter of fact, and I can't say enough about your staff, the folks that serve you. I mean, just genuine. Well, some of them family, I know, but you probably consider all of them
They're
family.
okay too, though.
Yeah. But I mean, really, they're all just also warm and inviting and friendly and smiling, and just makes you feel great, especially when you come in and, I mean, call you by name. It's just it's that over-the-top service that keeps people coming back. And I see that not just with us being local, but I recognize the fact that they do that with folks that come back with seasonal homes, and they know them and remember them.
Right.
And that goes a long way. I mean, let's face it. I mean, when you greet someone coming in the door with a friendly smile and call them by name, I think that that speaks a lot for who you guys are and what you're doing here.
It's a point of emphasis here that if they walk through our doors, we don't have contracts with anybody to come eat with us, so we never know when we're going to open the door, who's going to come through, but we want to make sure that they have an experience here that is worth remembering. They've chosen to come eat here amongst many, many restaurants, and we just want to make them feel special, make sure that they get the attention and service that they need, and hopefully to see them again.
Well, your menu is very authentic. I love how you name your breakfasts and things of that nature. But your pancakes, my goodness, isn't that one of your signature items that keeps folks coming back? I mean, that thing is like hanging off the plate. They're so big, and they're about that thick too. So,
right.
I know I can't eat them all every time I order them.
Gravy.
Yeah, biscuits and gravy. I mean, it really is like coming into grandma's house and having breakfast. I mean, it's it's just a very home style type of feel and taste.
Right.
Right, and it's it's nothing that's what I would say overly gourmet or anything, but at the same time, what we've tried to do is take each item that we do sell, and we tried to make it a little bit more unique than just the normal. So we will use especially buttermilk from Atlanta to make our buttermilk biscuits. And that just gives it just that little extra touch. Of course, we use Logan Turnpike locally milled grits here, and we have a recipe for that. So we've tried to take each item and just make it a little bit more special, give it a little bit of a twist to make it taste even better.
I think that's really neat that you're pulling in from other sources within the community.
Right.
And we're all, you know, it's almost like you guys are all pulling together to make this
It's a
all
great collaborative effort.
And I know you advertise from farm to table, so tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so that's a big emphasis here. If you're going to serve the type of cuisine that we serve, especially for lunch, it's a meat and three, and so you're going to have vegetables and sides of those nature.
Sometimes four.
It's
so good. I mean, you can't pick.
You know, it makes a whole lot more sense to use ingredients that are grown right here in town from farmers that we know than to pull that from California or Mexico or somewhere else. So we have some really dynamic relationships with our local farmers. We work extensively with Mickey Cummings at the Union County Farmers Market.
Sure.
So in season, we actually email an order in to those guys every Saturday morning, Mickey and Christy, and they go around to the farmers there and say, this is what the Sawmill needs, can you fulfill that? And then on Tuesday at the afternoon farmers market, they'll actually bring all that down here.
That is so
Oh, I didn't know that. That's really, really cool.
That is really cool.
So we get a lot from there, but there's a lot of purveyors that we use, whether we're locally sourcing honey or sorghum syrup, the grits, for example, the buttermilk. Whether it's the coffee, there's a lot of things that we're trying to find a small batch maker for that product because we think that that'll have a little bit more of a unique factor, a little bit better tasting, and it's a little bit special to have a relationship with other people that are kind of independent people like yourselves.
Absolutely, and I think to that end, you guys recently expanded your restaurant here and added a market over there. So that really highlights a lot of those local vendors that you utilize in your products here. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Who had that vision? Amy, was it you as a shopper? Or?
I think it was probably collaborative on our end. So, and it just gives us an opportunity to take the same products that you have locally sourced, either from within the state of Georgia or from within a 100-mile radius of the Sawmill, and say, hey, I like to, you know, I enjoy those grits that I had this morning, you know, and then you go, oh, well, come over and let's buy those at the market. And, you know, or if it's a jelly or a jam or any of the crafts, frozen vegetables, you can come and, you know, just keeps it going, you know, full circle to be able to, you know, we can buy more from those local purveyors and then, you know, put more money back into the local economy, and that's what we want to be able to do, and it just builds great relationships.
Well, you've got some pretty neat T-shirts over there too. I love the sayings that you have on those shirts. Who comes up with that, Amy? Is that all you?
We do have
You do the cooking.
She's a taste tester.
Taste tester.
That's the best job.
Everybody lines up in our family for that job. So
So do you get a lot of? Does Dad bring home a lot of stuff in the evenings from the restaurant? So you always have dinner though. I mean, Bryson would love to come over and hang out.
Well, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So it can get kind of popular around our house in the evening. So
Now, when y'all moved here, what led you to start a restaurant?
So we were in Roanoke, Virginia, and we'll celebrate our 15-year anniversary this March of being here at the Sawmill. And that was right about the time that we had our son Landon, and so he was a baby. He was 6 months old, and we were in Roanoke, Virginia, and all of our family was scattered back through Middle Georgia and North Florida. So when we started a family, it made sense to kind of get back closer to home. And my parents and Amy's grandparents on both sides of her family had cabins in the mountains, whether it was Clayton or Blairsville, and so we kind of knew the mountain area. And when the opportunity came for us to get this business and move back, that's what we did.
And we're glad you did, and so is the entire community, to be quite frank with you. I know on Saturday mornings, every time I drive by or anytime I stop, long lines waiting outside, but very well worth it, I might add.
Right, and it will, you know, in the season, the wait will get to, you know, up close to an hour. And so another reason why to have our market, we serve espresso drinks out of that while people wait. It gives them something to kind of look at. And we extended our waiting area on the front porch. And so that was all part of that as well.
Well, I'd echo what Dawn has said. I mean, it's certainly worth the wait, and I have noticed that the wait is getting longer and longer. So, you know, we need a VIP room, Shawn. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
We are, but
But then
that's
what
not
if you
gonna
weren't
work.
chosen to be one of the VIPs?
well, obviously I'm not.
That
But,
would be, yeah,
you
that
know,
would be hard. It's like, what?
but
We would do it for Dawn's benefit. We would have that, and
Appreciate
maybe
that.
she would let you in. So that's right.
well, I mean, Sawmill is certainly a destination that I put on my calendar at least once a week, and sometimes
Thank
more.
you.
I just love it. It is
Thank you.
just like you said, you know, going back to how we started this whole conversation, just the atmosphere. You walk in, you feel like you're literally sitting down at home to have a meal, and it's really, really neat. So we appreciate all that you guys do for the community. We know that you give back to our community in more ways than one, and we're just really, really appreciative, and we thank you guys so much.
Yeah. And as we, that becomes more and more meaningful the longer that we've been here, as you build those relationships to find ways that we can take what we've been given and to in return give that back. We really try to focus on areas where we can impact people, especially any needs that they have. And so it kind of makes our work more meaningful here, knowing that what it might be going to or for. So,
Well, along that too, almost forgot, you guys do some catering as well, don't you?
that's right. As if there's not enough hours in the day, but
You might be
We-
mad at me for mentioning that.
don't talk about that. No. We do quite a bit of catering. Sometimes it's just delivering a lunch if a corporation or organization is having 20 or 30 over and they want something catered in. We'll do that, or it could be breakfast parties. That's something pretty easy to do. But we also do full-scale off-site weddings. We'll do probably a dozen of those a year. So just different organizations. If it fits our schedule and they're looking for our type of food and service, then that's something we'll definitely entertain.
Well, I can't imagine who wouldn't be looking for your type of food and service, to be quite honest.
Thank you.
That is true.
So,
Yeah, do y'all do house calls? I mean, you can come on over tonight if you like.
Yeah.
We'll be more than happy to
Yeah.
open the kitchen up and let you go to town.
we'll have Amy on our scooter and she'll make that delivery for you. So,
Well, you guys are awesome. You're awesome neighbors and just
you.
friends, and we appreciate again all that you guys do for our community through your outreach here
Thank you.
at Sawmill Place and Market. So thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you, Dawn.